Today, we're trying to talk about the special youth movement going on in Philadelphia sports. Jarrett McCain, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper Dejean, Matvey Michkov. But I'm also going to find it pretty remiss of me not to talk about Joel Embiid as well. Questionable, but another tummy issue tonight. Can't take it anymore. Guys, it is going to be an overreaction Monday of all kinds of overreactions, guys. NFL, NBA, you name it, we're going to talk about it. We're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody. And welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live on YouTube and Twitter, guys. Make sure you do me that favor and hit that like button and subscribe button on the YouTube page. Please do me that favor. Greatly appreciate it. It's free to do, free to support a local content creator. If you've already hit that subscribe button, please hit that share button as well. I'd greatly appreciate that. Tell a friend, find someone else to join the broadcast. It means a lot, actually, if you guys do that. And if you're watching over on the Twitter world, you click that retweet button and that like button. And, you have to open up the video for the chat box if you comment under the tweet. I cannot see it live on the screen, and I cannot answer it. Guys, I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, at Beard of Knowledge. On all social media platforms, shoot me a follow, Instagram, TikTok. You never know what I'm going to post and where. Guys, let's get into it today. We got a jam-packed show today of overreactions. I plan on spending a lot of the day overreacting to the youth movement of Philadelphia, Jarrett McCain, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper Dejean, Matvey Michkov, and all the young elite potential talent in Philadelphia. But man, I'm kind of feeling down on the Sixers. I'm kind of feeling down on Joel Embiid today. I'm feeling very high on my Eagles and their chances after watching some casual football yesterday around the NFL. But on my Sixers, I'm feeling really down in the dumps today. So we got lots of random topics all over the place to talk about. Joel Embiid, questionable tonight with a tummy ache. So we got lots to get into. There's a lot of comments already rolling in. Similarity to the Birds, I'm giving this time to play out. If relatively healthy, they are the 23-23 after 46 games. Blow it up if not. Look, I got a whole entire path news to break down how it's not too early to panic on the Sixers. An entire path of a conversation that I wrote out there. Sixers require how? Honesty, openness, willingness. Honesty about health, openness of innovation, willingness to see the reality in front of them. I really like that. I'm going to, the how. I like that. I like that little thing there. Duck, what is up? Good morning to you as well. Wild weekend in the NFL. So many upsets and teams more than covering. Can I get a woo? I am glad we didn't play yesterday because we would have pulled into this crazy. Yesterday was a crazy day in the NFL for sure. But it really instilled the fact and the confidence that I have in our Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the four best teams in the NFL. No doubt it. Maybe three, maybe top three team in the NFL, Duck. So it's really interesting to see how this is going to shape up the rest of the season. Power rankings incoming. Yeah, I know you want me to put the Bills up top, probably, right, Mad Chatter? Yeah, there you go. Bills on top. Look, the Bills dominated the Chiefs. We all know the Chiefs were not playing well this year. They were getting by. They were skating by. But the Bills took care of business, and the Chiefs continued to look not so good yesterday. Not sure what's going on there. Boo the Sixers. Yay, McCain. Look, yeah, boo the Sixers. Yay, Jarrett McCain. Jarrett McCain is something special. Something special, Jarrett McCain. So far in his young NBA career. The Sixers, on the other hand, are not something special, and a lot of people are saying it's early, don't panic. Well, I've got a whole game plan and a whole entire post I could detail why it is not too early to panic. Starting a 38-year-old, yeah, I think you're talking about Kyle Lowry. Not good. Philly Press Box Radio says Jarrett McCain has been the one and only bright spot for the Sixers this season. Yeah. There's nobody else that has really given us any glimmer of any reason of anything to anything to be excited for with this Philadelphia 76ers. Paul George really has done nothing. A lot of the offseason additions haven't done much. And here we are with the same old song and dance with Joel Embiid, questionable tonight with an illness because, the dude's in 30 years old and he can't learn what he can and cannot eat. It's pretty pathetic. The rest of the Sixers organization right now. And look, I'm going to also criticize Nick Nurse. Maybe Nick Nurse isn't that good of a coach. I don't know. Lions are way better than the Eagles. Oh, I did not say they weren't. Did not say the Eagles were better than the Lions. This might be the best Lions team ever in the history of Detroit. They throw the ball. They run the ball exceptionally well. They play great defense, even with all the injuries that they've had. They've already lost touch for the year. They got somebody else on their defense got hurt yesterday, out about 8 weeks. They are the epitome of the next man up routine. They don't care that running the ball is their identity. Dan Campbell, like Nick Sirianni to an extent, has that entire team bought in and playing team football. The Lions are the best team in football right now. If I had to redo my power, I think the last time I did power rankings, I had the Lions at number 1. Now there ain't no question that they're ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs right now. It's the Chiefs, or it's the Lions, it's the Bills, Eagles, Steelers. I don't even know if the Chiefs are a top 5 team in the NFL right now because although they only have 1 loss, they haven't played good football. The Chiefs this year are eerily similar to the Eagles last year, where when they were 10-1 and we're like, they're not really a 10-1 team. That's kind of where the Chiefs are now at 9-1. We know they're not a 9-1 team, even though their record says they are. So it's really interesting the way that's playing out there. Lions are out of control, but could they beat power rankings number 1? Their Bills are a great team, but they're not better than the Lions right now. The Lions are who our fan base thinks our Eagles are. I don't know about that. I think the Eagles are similar to the Lions. They're just not as good as the Lions just yet, or at least haven't proven to be as good. Look, we've got the Rams who just won. We got the Ravens. We got the Steelers. 3 really good teams coming up in the next few weeks here. We're going to be put to the test, Brian, the Eagles. The youth movement of the Eagles, which is what we are so excited about, the bright future of the Eagles. It's going to be on full display the next couple of weeks. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua against the lockdown penitentiary of Quinyon Mitchell. You got Cooper Dejean, Jalen Carter playing out of his mind. We're going to see if they can stop that Rams offense. The Ravens looked pretty mediocre yesterday against the Steelers, or the Steelers looked that dominant. I would have predicted a loss to the Ravens and a win against the Steelers, but might be the other way around. It's going to be interesting, Eagles related, over the next couple of weeks. Detroit Lions still haven't made me a believer. What do the Detroit Lions have to do to make you a believer? I mean, I don't know every single game they've played, but I mean they're winning games not just by a little bit. They're smoking their opponents week in and week out. I want to pull this up to find out exactly. Obviously, they may have put the nail in the coffin in the career of Jacksonville Jaguars coach Doug Peterson. He sounds like a broken man. But they beat up on the Texans. They beat the Packers, Titans, Vikings. They beat the Cowboys by 40 almost. They beat Seattle double digits, Cardinals. Their only loss against the Buccaneers in week 2. I mean, the Lions are the real deal. The Lions are a damn good football team. Are Eagles top 5? Of course they are top 5. They might be top 4. Are Steelers top 5? Yeah, that's right there. Right there. 49ers stink. They do stink. Absolutely. Vikings, paper Tigers. Not really sure about that. Hurts has more yards, more touchdowns, and fewer turnovers than Goff this year. Yeah, I'm not saying anything negative about Jalen Hurts by saying that the Lions are the best team in football right now. I don't think anybody's going to say Jared. Well, there will be people that say Anthony, but I'm not going to say that Jared Goff's better than Jalen Hurts. I'm saying the Lions are better than the Eagles. I'm saying that I can't wait to go to Detroit to record an episode of this great morning show in Detroit for Eagles-Lions championship game. I just think the Lions might be playing. I think the Lions understand their identity better than the Eagles. I think that's about it. and the Lions have a youth movement as well. They've drafted fantastically over the last couple of years, and all their young players are making impacts on the team just like the Eagles are. And the Lions have a quarterback that gets questioned just as much as the Eagles quarterback does. So I think the similarities, they have a CEO head coach. They've got a young offensive-minded offensive coordinator. They've got a lot of similarities, Detroit and the Eagles, more than we probably realize at this point. But the Eagles youth movement, it's just something that really, really intrigues me. Not just how well they're playing so far, the youth on the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think people realize how young the Eagles truly are. I mean, even somebody like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, stalwarts on this. I mean, they're not like they're 30 years old. They're still just in the beginning of their primes. Outside of Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson, and Brandon Graham, pretty much the entirety of the Eagles team is either young or just in the heart of their prime. So this Eagles team is in a position to not just be good this year, but if we can keep some continuity on this offense and defensive coaching staff, be very good for a few years to come. That window is still open. Power rankings: Bills, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles, Steelers. Well, the Chiefs can't be that high. The Chiefs are not that good. They're not better than the Lions. They might not be. I might have to flip-flop a couple of those teams. It might be Lions, Bills, Eagles, Steelers, Chiefs, in my opinion, at this point. Hopefully that game will be in Philly. Dan Campbell, if that's happened, then Jason's coming out here, and I'll have him on the show. Dan Campbell does some dumb stuff. And the Lions have an interesting schedule later the rest of this year. They don't play again until, all right, so they don't have a bye. They got the Colts, they got the Bears, the Packers, the Bills. They got two Bears games, the Bills, the Packers, the Colts. They got the Niners and the Vikings. They got some tough games. So they are 9-1. They're looking at a 12 or 13 win season, which is going to be hard for the Eagles to get to 12, 13 wins. I'll be realistic. Let's be realistic. There's zero chance Eagles beat Chiefs. The Chiefs look like dog trash. I'm just going to tell you that, man, Chatter. Lions have to wash off the stench of wasting the careers of greatest players of all time, Barry Sanders, Megatron. Yeah, I mean, the Lions do have that reputation. But they could wash all that off by going to I'm pretty sure the Lions have never even played in a Super Bowl, right? Have they ever even played in an NFC championship game? I'm not sure. But again, just like the Eagles, they've got a young running back in Jamar Gibbs. They got young wide receivers in St. Brown and Williams. They got a young tight end. They got young offensive linemen. They got young players on their defense all over the place. See Brian Branch making big plays out there, for that team. The Lions are similar to the Eagles, where it's the youth movement, just like the Sixers, the youth movement. Youth movement is kind of the way we're going now in sports. Kelsey slowing down. Travis Kelsey is. We'll find out a lot about our Eagles in the next 4 weeks. That's when they find out how great they can be. Not how great they are, they can be. Exactly. These next 4 or 5 weeks are going to be tough. Rick, I mean, I think when we saw the schedule released, we circled starting this past week on Thursday Night Football, 5 of these next 6 games. 2 Washington, Rams, Ravens, Steelers, and then obviously Carolina mixed in there. But yeah, Eagles beat the Chiefs last year, and I absolutely believe they would beat them. Yeah, the Chiefs, I don't buy the Chiefs, Anthony. The Chiefs are not good. I hate to say it. My father-in-law's probably watching right now silently, crying in his cereal right now, because the Chiefs, the Chiefs are exactly what the Eagles were at this point last year. An ugly 9-1 team. They don't win well. They don't win pretty, and that catches up eventually. And it caught up with them yesterday against the Bills. Lions playing the NFC Championship game against the Niners. Yeah. Thanks, Anthony. I was on a roll, okay? Just let me have my moment there. Yeah, they did. All right, so they still have never played in a Super Bowl. Was that their first championship game last year? Bills versus Lions, December 15th. Lions will get a reality check, or maybe the Bills will. I don't know. We'll see. The only team in our way to a ring is the Lions right now or the Bills. Maybe, Joe. Maybe that's the case. In the NFC, yeah, I don't see anybody outside the Lions competing with us. There are some good teams that might make playoff runs. I'm not shying away from the Rams or the Cardinals in the West there, both those teams. I think the Rams are going to be a good test this weekend. They're getting healthy and they're playing well, and Matthew Stafford knows how to win. You got those two teams that really stand out. Seattle with a big win yesterday against the 49ers. The NFC West is average, but all those teams could get hot at the right moment. They're all well-coached teams. Man, did I just say Jonathan Gannon and the Cardinals are a well-coached team? Damn, I think I did just say that. Minnesota could be stingy in the playoffs in a one-game situation. So, and Washington, if you face Washington in the playoffs, it could be a scary situation. So there's a lot of scary teams. I feel we're better than all of them, except for the Lions. But there is definitely some fear in some of those teams across the NFC in a one-game situation. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, and Bills will be the final four. The Chiefs will be just because the NFL wants that to be. It shouldn't be, but it probably would be. That would be a pretty chalky playoff run for the NFL if that's the case. But that would be some really interesting football, in the championship round, for sure. Lots of parity in the NFL. We won't know what teams are until December. Yeah, the parity, Big Al. I think we spent a lot of time on the show last year talking about, everybody just being pretty similar across the board in the NFL. A lot of just averageness across the board. The parity, any given Sunday kind of. I think that's what the NFL wants. The NFL wants any given Sunday to be real. They want every team to have a chance to win every single week. And, it's kind of entertaining for the casual fan, but for diehard fans, it kind of makes it tough, especially betting fans like me. That's why I'm just shying away from betting altogether. Last year was the Lions' second appearance. They made it in 92 as well. Okay. All right. So they made 2 championship games. All right. I knew they did last year. It was just one of those, how I get there, Anthony. I just get in a groove and just the words start coming out, and that's where I say Aqua Bowman by mistake. Or the Lions have never been there. A lot of doo-doos. Look, I mean, after the Lions game yesterday, and I'm not trying to make this an NFL show. I'm trying to keep this Eagles and Sixers related. But I guess it's Eagles related to an extent. After yesterday's Lions game, how Jacksonville Jaguars do not fire Doug Peterson. I still can't believe they haven't fired him yet. The fact that they haven't fired him yet, I don't know. After the game saying he was asked if he should be fired, if he's worried about being fired, and he flat out just said, if it happens, it happens. Like he already knows he's going to get fired, or he wants to be fired. And why wouldn't he want to be fired? It's got to be dreadful coaching in Jacksonville there. That's a dreadful team. I feel so bad for Doug Peterson. But yet again, I also I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Doug Peterson. We don't need another hero. Who needs a hero? Tennessee stinks. I love how you just randomly put random teams and random comments. Like, we're here to talk about the youth movement right now. Yeah, see, here we go again. Tennessee stinks. Colts stink. It's like random. It's. I guess that's why you're called the Mad Chatter, because you just randomly chatter about things in the chat. Dougie P, he's gonna be gone. He's got to be gone. They got their bye week this week, Jacksonville. They're 2-9, Jacksonville. He even said, if it happens, it happens. Basically saying, please fire me. It's a shame to see what happened to Doug Peterson there in Jacksonville. It really is. Exciting whites. Yeah, the youth movement of the Eagles, the exciting whites. I'm curious, Marshawn. I'm trying to fathom, put together the right words about these young players on this Eagles defense at a time in Philadelphia history where we've had a moment like this and it's actually worked out. So I was talking, this is another subject for later in the show, about Joel Embiid being a disappointment. Is he the biggest disappointment in Philadelphia sports history? And we've had a lot of great young players come through to this city. And more often than not, they don't live up to their full potential for one reason or another. Cheap ownership, contract issues, injury issues, not who we thought they were. Right now, with Cooper Dejean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jalen Carter, Jarrett McCain, I guess you could group Tyrese Maxey to an extent in there. Matvei Michkov, Andrew Painter coming up soon with the Phillies. Andrew Painter's the only one that I'm really even remotely concerned not living up to the hype. And it's because he just came off of Tommy John surgery. literally all of the youth movement in Philadelphia right now, I don't have doubts that they can maintain this and get better. Like, I kind of feel like the city of Philadelphia is in good hands once we move on from one or two other players and get them out of this city. Like, I kind of feel like this is the first real deal of youth movement here in Philadelphia. Did you see that the Giants are benching Daniel Jones for a year? No, I did not see that. When was that announced, Dave? Was that something just announced this morning? Because I did not see that. Maybe I missed it. With no Eagles. Oh, nope, there it is. Ian Rappaport. The Giants took the bye week to consider their next move, and a morning final decision: Daniel Jones to the bench. Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito are the backup quarterbacks. All right, Daniel Jones done. I mean, he kind of got to, right, Dave? Got to. Who good in the AFC South? Well, the Texans are still a really good team. They play tonight. Broken glass everywhere. If it isn't about the Eagles, I just don't care. Broken glass everywhere. If it's not about the Eagles, I just don't care. That's true. The Texans, the Texans are good. Jones has a huge injury clause in his contract, so they don't want him to get hurt and then have to be on the hook for that. Okay. That's some contract knowledge there on Daniel Jones, for sure. Wouldn't have known that. Does Kyle Rittenhouse? Oh my God, Marshawn. I'm not going to comment. Send me a message. I got jokes to make about that. I'm just going to leave it off the air. Joel is the biggest loser in NBA history. So I don't want to make this show negative, but it is Overreaction Monday. Yesterday it comes out that Joel Embiid is questionable for tonight's game against the Miami Heat with an illness. First and foremost, has there ever been an athlete in Philadelphia history with as much tummy issues as Joel Embiid? First and foremost. Second off, I think it's a mess because I don't think he's healthy. I think he was forced back early. That's another conversation. But C, and put out a video and a comment and a tweet. And I was texting with my boy Brian about this. Has there been an athlete in Philadelphia history as disappointing as Joel Embiid? And a lot of people are bringing up a lot of names. But my counter is Joel Embiid is an MVP. Joel Embiid has the skill set and talent to be one of the greatest NBA centers of all time. Comparisons to Hakeem Olajuwon, etc. But yet, he's not. But yet, he's the biggest disappointment. But yet, he can't get out of the second round. Yet, he can't play more than 40 games a season. Let me tell you something, Sixers fans. I'm just going to dive right into it. I got a path that the Sixers aren't even making the playoffs this year. Playoffs? They're not. It's not too early to say that. The Sixers are fake tanking this year because they don't want to call it tanking. I don't even know if the Sixers know they're tanking this year. I think the Sixers are going to tell us they're not, and they are. Joel might be the biggest disappointment in the history of Philadelphia sports, plain and simple. Embiid is not the biggest disappointment. Wentz dropped Mike. Wentz actually led his team to a Super Bowl, though. Okay? Wentz right there with Joel Embiid talent-wise. But Carson Wentz, we don't get to the Super Bowl without his first 13, 14 games that year. All right? Just so you know. Just going to put that out there. I put Embiid just above Carson Wentz. For sure. 2010 Eagles is the bar for exciting young group. I have to double check which year 2010 was roster-wise. Giants should have paid Barkley, obviously. There's only one person that thinks that they shouldn't have, and he's probably going to lose his job at the end of the season. I think there's not one person that would disagree with that. The Giants GM has to be gone, too, especially after the hard. Absolutely. I don't know how he's got a job right now. Eyes. Ben Simmons, I think that's the most common argument is Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, who's more disappointing. I think Joel Embiid's more in disappointing than Ben Simmons because we see how great Joel Embiid is. Very rarely did we see the truth of Ben Simmons' talent that he had. I think Joel Embiid's a slightly bigger disappointment because we know what Joel Embiid is capable of. Well, you're breaking my heart. Dude, you're breaking my heart, man. I don't want to give up on Joel Embiid. I don't want to give up on the Sixers. But it might be time to just turn it over to Maxey and McCain and just let them do their thing and learn and grow and develop some chemistry. Now his tummy hurts. Yeah, Joel Embiid's got a tummy ache. Oh, again, Carson Wentz. I don't know. Carson Wentz was great, sure. I had him as an elite quarterback, but he at least helped take a team to a championship. How they won the Super Bowl in Carson Wentz's year. Joel has the fighting spirit of 50-year-old Mike Tyson. Dude, I demand a refund from Netflix for what I had to watch. The prices they charge, and they made me, you want rant fill, you want hot take fill. Netflix owes all of its customers a free month or two for what they had to put up with, and they better get that shit fixed. They got a Christmas Day live football game on Netflix, and then you've got Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix in January. They better figure out their live streams. God damn. I knew it was going to be bad. I still stayed up and watched it. The women's fight before, the parts I got to see that weren't frozen on my screen was phenomenal. Summer of George Embiid, and the legs of him too, yeah. Sixers are going through process 2.0 stealth. I like that. The stealth year of the process. Yes, absolutely. Randall was more of a disappointment in Philly sports. Dude never. Yeah, that's a strong candidate, Rick, for biggest disappointment. Randall Cunningham, very strong. Also had injury issues, had beefs with the players, the coaches, and the fans at times. Randall for sure is up there, in my opinion, in that conversation, for sure, in my opinion. I told you last season that it's not Embiid's team anymore. It shouldn't be. It is, but it shouldn't be. Wentz clears Joel. Embiid has done nothing for the city. Wentz is more, it clears Joel. Oh, okay, so you're agreeing that Wentz isn't as big of a disappointment as Joel. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Sixers don't get to the playoffs the last 4-year season. They do. I mean, they do not get to the playoffs without him. Exactly my point. Joel Embiid is literally that fantastic of a basketball player, like massively fantastic of a basketball player that comes up small in the big moments. That's never healthy, never there for you. And that's why I feel that way. What's up, Anthony? Good morning to you. What is the story of Embiid and all his injuries and controversy? I have no idea. No idea, Anthony. But what we do know is that at what point do we just say enough is enough? I said before the season started, in the offseason, I'm going down with the Joel ship. I don't care if it means we never win, whatever. But then this year has unfolded the way it's unfolded, and I'm ready to flip-flop. I'm ready to say that enough is enough. I'm tired of being a Sixers fan. Just give me Jarrett McCain all year long. I'd rather watch that kid learn. Joel is definitely more disappointing than Ben. Yeah, I think so. Joel is capable of 15 points in Game 7. Yeah. Too many Joel apologists in the chat. Dude, let me tell you something, Marshawn. I've got this on as a poll, or not a poll, as a thread on Twitter, and the comments, the people that don't think Joel Embiid is disappointing at all. It's insane. It's insane. The biggest disappointment in my 76ers life is Sean Bradley. They sold us that he was the next unicorn. I remember being hyped for the big Sean Bradley there, but you know what? We're not going to make fun of Sean Bradley now. I always felt bad for that bike accident he had. Cunningham was bigger disappointment. He's definitely up there in the top 3 or 4, Rick. I'd have to really sit down, and I need to come up with like 5 or 6 names, and then I'll sit there and put them in order and stuff like that. Good morning, Bruce Bryce Harper. How are you this morning? The 3 fights before Tyson Paul fight. I got home from work, saw the women's fight. Then I saw parts of it because it kept freezing on my screen. But yeah, the women's fight was fantastic. And that chick, Serrano, she got robbed. She won that fight. I've watched a lot of boxing in my lifetime. There's no way that other chick won that fight. No way. No way they got that. They got that fight so wrong. So wrong, the judges' scorecard. Well, The Rock says, but did Randall have championship aspirations? Stop sparing. Look, I think Marshawn, Randall Cunningham, I mean, when he came into the league and early in his career, cover magazines, he was supposed to be the real deal, the rocket arm, the perfect weapon. There were so many nicknames for this guy. And then an injury, Bryce Pop. kind of changed the trajectory. And then later in his career, he goes to Minnesota and wins the MVP, proving how elite he could have been. Randall's up there. Randall is definitely up there with Joel in the disappointments. Playoffs is the bar for the Sixers. Chat doing a lot of protecting. Marshawn, I've got it. There is no way the Sixers. I'm gonna lay this out for you guys. The Sixers and how it's not too late to panic, and it's not too late to worry. It's just not. All right. So I did the math. I crunched the numbers on the Sixers. Okay. The Sixers are 2-10 right now. 0-2 without Joel Embiid. Okay. If he plays approximately 40 games, 38 more, which he's going to miss tonight probably, then the Sixers go 25-15. That puts him at 27-23. That's a 63% clip because, I've done the averages, okay, of what they win with and without him. All right. 27-23. The 10 seat, the last 3 years have been 36, 40, and 43 wins. So let's average it out to 40 right in the middle there. That means the Sixers have to go 13-19 without Joel Embiid. That's a 40% clip. Last year they won at a 37% clip without him. 42% over his career. So they got to max out without Joel Embiid and go 13-19, which they've already gone 2-8 without him. And that's to get the 10 seed. Is it possible? Sure, yeah. This thread has pissed me off comment-wise. Because I don't think people realize how little of a chance there is for the Sixers to make the playoffs at this point. So I hope we don't make Embiid feel bad and make him want to leave. You know what? Honestly, Bruce, at this point, I don't care. I'm good if Joel wants to go. I said before the Paul George signing not to sign Paul George. Why? Because we needed to take a step backwards so that we can then take a few steps forward. Well, now we might have to take 2 steps back before we can take 1 step forward with this team. And be discovered, it's better to chill in the mansion than have to go play. I don't know what it is. I'm tired of being a Sixers fan. Dude, me and my boy Brian, who comments on the show, say this all the time in our text message. Like, I'm tired of it. We keep getting sucked in for this or that. We're sucked in again to watch because of Jarrett McCain, which is the point of this show. The future is bright. Jarrett McCain might really be the real deal. But it's exhausting being a Sixers fan. It's tiring. It's frustrating. It's the same thing now for 10 straight freaking years. I feel like it's different, but it's the same. Before the process started, we were always the prohibitive 8 seat, 7 seat. We were stuck in the mud, mediocrity with Andre Iguodala and Elton Brand. Every year, the same thing. We're good, but we're not good enough. The Sixers are great, but never good right now. We're stuck in the mud again because it all revolves around Joel Embiid, his health, physically or tummy-wise, and it's never perfect. Like, it's the same revolving door year after year after year. They are so far behind the Celtics. They're so far behind the Cavaliers, obviously, right now. They're so far behind everybody in the NBA right now. Everyone is saying that this is an organizational mess. Lies. This is on Joel. I think it's both because I'll blame the organization for not realizing it, that the problems, for selling us, but also selling themselves that a move like Paul George and some of these contracts they gave out were worth it to get us over the hump when it's not the case. Not the case at all. So everybody's to blame. Josh Harris is to blame. Elton Brand's to blame. Daryl Morey's to blame. Nick Nurse is to blame. Joel Embiid, player-wise, is the most to blame. Never say he's not a disappointment. I'm just bigger disappointment. Yeah, I just disagree. I don't think you're totally wrong that Wentz is a disappointment. I just don't put Wentz to the level of Joel Embiid yet. I feel if we have Maxey, George, and Embiid all playing together, we will be a top team and could win it all. Bruce, I strongly disagree with you. Bruce, they're only going to play all together like 20 or 30 times. Come playoff time, there'll be no chemistry. And even if they do get to the playoffs, what's going to happen? Like, that's just blind hope. Blind hope, which I tell you is not a good way to go. Sean Bradley got into a bicycle accident years ago, and he ended up getting paralyzed from the waist down, or actually maybe from the neck down, from that accident. But it's all good. I mean, I think he's done a lot of, used his celebrity status to to bring a lot of light to things and stuff like that. Serrano got robbed. Absolutely. They should have stopped that fight after the second headbutt. The headbutts, man. And I love how the corner was calling it out. Calling out the illegal headbutts. It was there was more than 2 headbutts there. There was quite a few. Do you see the line score? Because I feel Goff is a top quarterback, probably in the top 6. Jared Goff's a great game manager. I don't know if he's a great quarterback, but he's a great game manager. When your guy is the MVP and he scores 15 points in Game 7, chat, do your thing. Call for Randall's name. I see what you're saying there. Trust the process. Stealth mode. Trust. As somebody said earlier, it's stealth mode. Stealth mode. Trust the process. Oh no, we suck again. Again. No, not free Marcus Hayes. Whether Marcus Hayes was accurate in his comments, in some of them, is despite the point, because the article was still dog trash. Okay, Marshawn? The article and the paragraph about his brother and his son was dog trash. So no, don't free Marcus Hayes. Marcus Hayes is still a scumbag. And the Sixers are wrong for letting him in the locker room to stir up even more trouble. Prohibitive 7 seed. I don't want the 7 and 8 seed to get knocked out. I don't think there's a path to the Sixers being the 10 seed. Again, they got to go 25 and 15 when Joel plays, 25 and 13 the rest of the year, if he plays 40 games, and then 13 and 19 without him just to get the 10 seed. That's pushing it. There's a chance the Sixers team doesn't win 35 games this year. And I don't think I know when I say this stuff online, oh, it's too early, you're just being negative, they got this. No. If you're not in panic mode yet, then you just don't understand what's going on. You're just putting blind trust that Joel's going to be fine. I hate saying this, but the Sixers are the equivalent of Dallas Cowboys. This is our year until it isn't. And they reel us back in. So I kind of understand Cowboys fans. They get reeled back in every year, being told it's their year. And then they get disappointed again. It's nauseating. It really is nauseating. Phil, I feel you have a good point, but we have 3 superstars. We do. We do have 3 superstars. Problem is, when are the 3 superstars going to play together? When are they going to be healthy? It's not. You just can't figure that out. Can't wait to see how our young Lions handle Lamar Jackson. If they come out with flying colors, then I like our chances against Detroit. Yeah, the Lions, the Ravens game is a big game, but there's a blueprint to beat the Ravens. The Steelers I watched that Steelers-Ravens game as much as I could yesterday, since we're playing both those teams in coming weeks. And I'm more fearful of the Steelers than the Ravens at this point. The Ravens could go out there and put up 40, but the Ravens can be beat us also if you have a great game plan. And our defense is pretty damn good. The Steelers, we'll be lucky to score 17 points against that Steelers team. That defense is playing well. Now, I don't worry about the offense putting up much, but, man, there was at least 5, and the ref didn't dock a point until the 5th headbutt. Yeah, agreed. Joel is and a kitty cat. I don't know about the word scumbag or not. Marcus Hayes is definitely a scumbag. Yeah, look. Whether the part of his article was right or wrong is beside the point. The fact that he brought the brother and the kid into it, yeah, no. No way. No way, shape, or form. I agree. Ravens will be the true test to this defense. If we lose to the Rams, it will be offense that is to blame. Rams are good, but that's what they need to beat a top 5 team. Look, I expect the Eagles to beat the Rams. I do. I think it's going to be a tough test against the Rams, for sure. The way I'm looking at it is the Rams are kind of there. They're a good team, not great, in a good division with no great teams. The Rams can make the playoffs like I predicted they would. I think I predicted the Rams to win that division, actually, before the season started, if I remember correctly. The test is Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And at this point after yesterday, I'm more fearful of Pittsburgh. Not just because they won, just because of how they win. Like, I feel like the Pittsburgh game is going to be a 17-14, 17-15 type game. Whoever scores last wins. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle. The Ravens game, I don't know yet. The Ravens game could be a shootout. It could be a close game. It could be a low-scoring game. It could be a blowout. I don't know yet. The Ravens, I guess, game will be more of a judgment on who the Eagles and the Ravens are, and the Steelers game will just be that knockout battle, and the strongest team wins. Joel is in comfy mode. Joel is in comfy mode, all right. Wearing his sweatpants, chilling around the house. He's got it all. Ravens will test our defense against a great quarterback who has legs and an arm. Oh, well, Lamar Jackson didn't look great yesterday. We'll just say that. Fire Marcus Hayes is, I think, what you're supposed to say. Fire Marcus Hayes is what you're saying, right? I don't think the Ravens are as good as people think they are. I don't know if Lamar Jackson is overrated, Big Al. I don't think the Ravens as a team are as good as people think this year. I think they have holes on that team for sure, but so does a lot of teams in the NFL. The Ravens are a top 10 team in the NFL, top 8 team in the NFL probably. But they're not even, they're third, maybe fourth. They're fourth best in their own conference because I still put the Chiefs, even though they stink this year, relatively speaking, the Bills ahead of them and the Steelers maybe ahead of them. So at best, they're the fourth best team in the NFL or in the NFL and AFC right now, in my opinion. Steelers will be a grinder and will test on both sides of the ball. Yeah, it's going to be a grind out, knockdown battle against the Steelers. No doubt about it. Great running team beats a great passing team 99% of the time. We're a great running team. So that's good for us, right? Lamar never plays well against the Steelers. It's Mike Tomlin, the ultimate CEO coach, knows how to stop his opponents, always builds a good game plan, always does all the right things. Don't crap on Phil's best customers. Raven are great. Get your pizza. Look, hey, Ravens fans love Fox's Pizza. Being in Kennett Square, whenever the Ravens play the Eagles or Ravens in the Super Bowl, it's huge in our area. People don't realize Kennett Square is not mileage-wise, but driving distance-wise, pretty much the same distance. Like, I can get to the Philly airport, the Baltimore airport, the difference of like 5 minutes. So, a lot of Baltimore fans in my area. Quinyon Mitchell, takes the other team's winning game plan away. Look, Quinyon Mitchell is the real deal. Quinyon Mitchell is an all-pro player already. Quinyon Mitchell, I'm struggling to say it. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that overreacts. I don't. Quinyon Mitchell is going to be the best cornerback in Eagles history. Sorry, Eric Allen. I've watched Eric Allen play. Eric Allen's a Hall of Famer. Quinyon Mitchell has got Eric Allen maybe better potential. Just saying it. I'm just saying it, guys. I'm not going to shy away from saying it. Quinyon Mitchell is so damn elite. Quinyon Mitchell will never get a lot of wide receiver or interceptions. Why? Because no one throws the football his way. You can't get that first interception when the ball's thrown your way once a game. You just can't. Quinyon Mitchell, he's so damn good. And when I said he was already better than Darius Slay before the season started, and people laughed at me, people said, "Why are you trying to stir up drama? Darius Slay's still number one." Darius Slay, when healthy, has played really well this year. You know, considering all things, considering his age, considering his health, he's done well this year, Darius Slay. But it ain't even in the same stratosphere as Quinyon Mitchell this year. Yeah, I'm always that guy. I've always got to be that guy. I say what no one else is willing to say. Q has made number one wide receivers look like number 4. He really has. You know, it's funny. Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, let me start this over. Cooper Dejean is having a great rookie year so far. I mean, he missed the first 4 weeks. I get that. But we're, 9 or 10 games into the season. Last 5-6 weeks. Been phenomenal, Cooper Dejean. But you wouldn't even know it. Cooper Dejean is back page story. Quinyon Mitchell is front page story. Huge difference between that. And Quinyon is overshadowing because Quinyon deserves to be overshadowing him, but it's making people forget how great Cooper Dejean's playing. Go strong on the take. Quinyon Mitchell is going to be the greatest Eagles cornerback of all time. Boom. Mark it right there. Slay played very well, even coming off the bench from after a few. Yeah, Darius, I'm not trying to take anything away from Darius Slay. He's played well when he's been healthy this year. But he's nowhere near the classic Quinyon Mitchell. He's just not. Not. So I never impressed with Lamar Jackson. Reminds me of an early career Michael Vick. Major talent, but football IQ is questionable. I mean, this is a conversation to be had here. I mean, Lamar Jackson has won an MVP, multiple MVPs. Michael Vick did not. I think Lamar Jackson has been straddled with bad wide receiver play throughout his career. Lamar Jackson is a stronger runner. Maybe not as he's a stronger, more physical version of Michael Vick. I think he can throw the football. His IQ might be a little low. Maybe. Never thought about his football IQ before, Big Al. But yeah. You might be right on that, maybe. I don't think Slay could play a whole game worth of snaps anymore. They need to work on. Yeah, I think so. And I think Isaiah Rodgers is playing well enough that you can put Darius Slay on a pitch count. I mean, Darius Slay come playoff time is much more important than Darius Slay this week against the Rams, right? Right? You could do that. Did you know that Bradbury has been teaching up the quarterback room all on IR? He's doing what he's asked to do, unlike White. It's great to read. It's great to see. I wanted James Bradbury on this team. James Bradbury might come back at some point. I don't know what they'll do. Maybe they'll just keep him on IR as a coach. I mean, there's really not much of a need for him anyway. Cooper is making up for the Jordan Davis pick. Stop. Jordan Davis had his best game of the year last week, okay, on Thursday Night Football. All right. Jordan Davis might not be what we need him to be with where we picked him, but Jordan Davis is still a viable part of the defense. Now, what does Jordan Davis' career look like after this year? I don't know. He'll be up for a rookie extension, I think, after this year. You can't give it to him, or you can pick up his fifth-year option, I guess. But it'll be very curious. I will be very curious to see what the Eagles do with Jordan Davis. All these big, young names. You know, I say the Eagles and Sixers' future is bright. You know, the positivity of the youth movement in Philadelphia. And Jordan Davis, who was drafted with such high hopes. Jordan Davis, who was drafted in this big, giant personality, this big, giant person. And if you had to do the top 10 young players under 25 in Philadelphia sports right now, Jordan Davis might not even make the top 10. And he's still a very effective player. He's not elite, but he's effective. It's kind of crazy that Jordan Davis is not even a top 10 in the youth movement. Got to see if Mitchell can lay. He can't lay the boom when no one throws to him, so he can't tackle and he can't pick passes up because the ball never goes anywhere. He's got them in Guantanamo Bay, in the Quinyon Mitchell Penitentiary, in solitary confinement. That's what he's got. So he can't lay hits. He can't pick passes off. Nobody throws his way. I mean, we aren't in. Okay, gotcha. I understand what you're saying now. Cooper's making up for the Jordan pick because of that. He's also, I guess you could say that the same thing about Brian Branch, I guess. We took Nolan Smith over Brian Branch, but you know, Nolan Smith is actually starting to trend and tick upward as well. Nolan Smith, youth movement. You know, the youth movement in Philadelphia, just with the Eagles and Sixers alone, doesn't even count the Flyers, doesn't even count the Phillies. It's special right now. It really is. Bradbury's going to be to sit on IR, keep his mouth shut, pull the company line, and teach up the young bucks and see how he wants to work. I thought Bradbury was just kind of being stashed on IR. If an injury happened, maybe they activate him, maybe not. But honestly, we've heard updates and injury updates on a lot of players. We haven't heard one thing about James Bradbury. So I don't know what's going on there with him. Quinyon Mitchell equals Jordan. Cooper equals Pippen. Slay equals Bill Cartwright. And who is Jalen Carter in that youth movement? Because we talk about the youth movement in the secondary, but we kind of forget that Jalen Carter is only in his second year. Jalen Carter was just a rookie last year. So let's not write off Jalen Carter out of this youth movement yet. Because Jalen Carter, where Quinyon Mitchell's all them, Jalen Carter's the next Aaron Donald. Maybe not that high, but pretty damn close, right? The youth movement is there. We watch Eagles and Sixers games. Well, we watch Eagles games to see them win, but also to see the youth. We watch Sixers game. We don't even care if they win or not. We're just there to watch Jarrett McCain. Thank God Jarrett McCain is who he is so far. Because otherwise, if Jarrett McCain was just another just a young rookie that couldn't get on the floor, there'd be nothing exciting about this Sixers team. Nothing at all. Guys, you are watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. If you have not done it already, please hit that like button. If you haven't done it already, please hit that subscribe button, share button. Guys, I'm rocking a new T-shirt here. I've made a little deal with Lillian's Creations. It's a place out here in the Kennett Square area, Southern Chester County. She's got my logo for the Trending in the AM and the STT Sports Network. If you'd like to purchase a shirt, you got short sleeve, long sleeve, cups, everything. Check them out, lillianscreations.com. There's a contact form there. You can contact her and ask for a Trending in the AM T-shirt or a Trending in the AM hoodie or something, and she'll hook you up. She'll send it out to you and help a small business in Kennett. Also, I get a little bit of a kickback, but you're more than welcome. Trending in the AM shirts, new partner right here, Lillian's Creations. High quality shirts. The long sleeve shirts are only $20. The T-shirts are only $15. Really good quality. The print's nice on it. Doesn't come off in the wash. Guys, check them out. lillianscreations.com. Contact and then send them an email or phone call and let them know what you like, guys. Just a new partner trying to help spread the word of Trending in the AM. Carter equals Dennis Rodman. Jalen Carter, Dennis Rodman. Maybe. I'm trying to think, is Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter the Dennis Rodman, the dirty work guy? Yeah, I guess I get behind that. I don't know if I would call it a sponsor per se, a partner. I would call it a partner. It's not a sponsorship. It's a partnership. You know, I mentioned I wanted some shirts done, and she said, you know, put them on the chat in the thing, and she'll give me a little cutback, you know, a little kickback if people buy shirts. Plus, it's great to get shirts and the logos out there because then people, you know, are wearing it, rocking it, and promoting it for me. Thank you, Chet. Thank you, Chet. Just got your message. You know, can't wait to see the show this week. How I missed those ad reads. That wasn't an ad read. That was a partnership read. Okay, a partnership. Okay. We got something from Dana Scott. Jalen Carter equals Moses Malone. See, I like the Jalen Carter Moses Malone comparison more so than the Dennis Rodman. Yeah, because Moses Malone won us a title. He was that missing piece. I mean, Dennis Rodman won titles too, but I like the Moses Malone. I like that one right there. All right, let's not split red hair. It was a read. It was something, right? And I'm going to keep doing it because you know what? If you guys buy a shirt or two, you know, make me a few bucks, but also you get some great shirts and you can promote. You can promote for me, you know? It's good quality. I'm a t-shirt guy. I'm a long sleeve t-shirt guy. I love it. And the quality's much better than the site I used to use for stuff and all. So, gotta love it. Did you draw that portrait of the great Harry Kaus? That right there? I did not draw that. Dude, I can't draw a stick figure, Jose. This is one of my pride and joys, okay? This was found in a thrift shop by my brother, okay? Probably like $5. All right? And the story is, the drawing of Harry Kaus, it basically used the words of High Hopes. So it's the picture is the lyrics to High Hopes into the shape of Harry Kaus. So if you read it and you get up really close, it just says, we got high hopes all over it. And then they did it in the shape of Harry Kaus. It's an amazing picture. It's an amazing portrait. It's an amazing piece of artwork. And it was like for $5 at a thrift shop. That's like one of my that and my Doctober, also found by my brother in a thrift shop, are my two pride and joys back there. Not my diploma or any of my Jimmy Buffett stuff or my sheep's mask or my Fanatic. That right there, that's my pride and joy right there. 100%. Well, you can't read the lyrics unless you zoom in on the screen. Even that you might not be able to. But I'm telling you what it is. And if you want to know what the lyrics to High Hopes are, Google it. Google me. That's all you got to do, K1. Just Google it. I don't need to tell you what the lyrics are. If you don't know, you don't know. That's what Uncle Google is for. But guys, please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. We're talking the youth movement of the Sixers. We're talking about Joel Embiid being sick and possibly out again tonight. And let me ask you this about Joel Embiid, guys. Then we'll get back to Joel Embiid. We're also talking Eagles as we get set for a huge week against the Rams this week, Thursday Night Football. I think this week is the last week the Philadelphia Eagles have to get on a plane the remainder of the season. I doubt that you know. I don't know if you do. I think you're making that up. I don't think you know the lyrics. Dana, you look way too young to know about Moses Malone. I didn't really look at her picture. Yeah, maybe. Maybe she's just a well-educated fan, mister. Maybe she's just educated, more educated than us, maybe. Hey, that ant saw that rubber tree plant and said, F that, I am taking it. What? I'm missing that one. It's about an ant that wants to move the tree plant. What is JoJo Barry Carroll's motivation now that he has his second bag? Is it motivation for Joel? What's up? Go Birds. That's right. Go Birds. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, Rick. What is Joel's motivation? Is it a motivation? Is that what you guys are saying? I don't know the lyrics of High Hopes, honestly. I don't have any clue. I've never heard anybody but Harry Cowles sing the song. So just so you know. What is Joel's motivation? Is it a motivation issue? I really, truly think if he is sick today, if he's out with an illness today, I really, truly believe 1,000% that he was forced back. He wasn't healthy. And the NBA put pressure on the Sixers. They felt the pressure. And they said, all right, we'll activate him, but he's not ready. So we'll keep coming up with ideas, back-to-back games, sicknesses, et cetera, to keep him out till he is ready. I really, truly feel that. I truly feel that in the next 3 weeks, I would be not shocked one bit if we get breaking news Joel Embiid is going under the knife and having reconstructive knee surgery or something. It wouldn't shock me one iota if Joel Embiid has to have surgery to repair the knee and is gone for the year. Not at all. Would not shock me one bit. I don't know if it's a motivation issue or I don't know if it's an injury issue, but yeah, all right. Chat, we are getting catfished this day woke. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Not really that hard to be more educated than us. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not very educated. I don't even know the lyrics. You guys caught me. You caught me. I have no clue what the lyrics are at all. Rick, what's up? How do you feel about the Flyers? I feel like the Flyers, Sixers, Eagles have bright futures depending on the offseason. Absolutely. Rick, that's the whole point of this show. The future is bright. This year might not be bright, but the future is massively bright. Look, Matvei Michkov has the potential to be one of the greatest hockey players of all time. He's that damn good. I saw the one or two of his missed shots. Was it Friday night or Saturday night that they played? I think they played Friday night. I was watching the game. One or two of the shots he took, actually Saturday, because it was Saturday. It was the night, not the fight. They didn't go in, but he hit the crossbar on one shot, and the angle he took it from, I was like, damn, that kid is special. Like every game I watch, something Michkov does, I'm just like, holy shit. Like I've never seen anybody do that before. So the future is bright. The Flyers still need a goalie. Flyers still got. I don't care what they say about Kozlov, Fedotov, and Emerson. They're not championship or even high end playoff goalies at this point. They need to do a lot more at the goalie position. But the future's bright. I don't know if Tortorella's the right choice going forward, but that's another conversation. If Joel's not motivated by his own son and brother, oh my God, no, get that out of here. That almost earned you a timeout. I don't think he was paying attention when Harry Cowles sang it. I wasn't. I was definitely not paying attention. I think the Sixers should tank and get Cooper Flag. Look, the Sixers are going to do exactly this. They're going to finish in the 10 or 11 seed and not have a first-round pick because the Sixers' first-round pick is top 6, top 7 protected. They're going to fall in like the 10 range so that they can't get a first-round pick, but they still miss the playoffs. The NBA, Rick, will not allow Cooper Flag to the Sixers. They won't. 0 chance, 0. The Sixers could win 2 games, and the Sixers will end up with the 10th pick in the NBA draft. This is a big middle finger. It's just going to happen. Just what makes that little old. Can't think. See, I don't know the words. I can't believe I don't know the words. Let's say the NBA has forced the situation. Isn't that a legal issue? Maybe even continued payback for the process. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if it came out that they forced the hand, I think they forced the hand because they've always questioned it, but also they don't trust or believe what the Sixers say. But if they force the hand, yeah. Phil gets high, apple pie in the sky hopes. I've heard that line before. Do you think Smitty is being underrated? Devontae Smith, look, there's a lot of mouths to feed, Jose, on the Eagles. A lot. And he is one of the young guns. The future, I mean, everybody forgets how young Devontae Smith is. He's been here for a few years now. We forget he's still a young player. He's, has his second year. That big contract even kicked in yet. There's always going to be mouths that are left hungry after a football game. The thing with Devontae Smith, it doesn't seem to bother him. Devontae Smith knows who he is. Devontae Smith knows what kind of a role and importance he plays. He doesn't take plays off. He's out there blocking. He's doing everything else. He's still running his routes full speed. Devontae Smith, underutilized? Sure. But is it a concern? Not at all. Not even a little bit. So Phil is going full tinfoil cap on Embiid. He now has an injury from the Olympics that the Sixers and the U.S. is hiding. I didn't say they're hiding it. They kind of were hiding it, not telling us, but he's clearly hurt. He clearly was hurt. And you guys just love to prove that. Y'all calling me out. I had no clue what they were. I love it. Confidence level, Eagles defense versus Lions offense. Eagles offense versus Lions defense. Marshawn, that's a tough question because the Lions offense is predicated on their run game. We have a great run defense, but if we faced a running offense like the Lions are basically like the Eagles. They just pound that ball nonstop till they wear you down. We would learn about Jordan Davis, that's for sure, and how good he is in that defense versus offense question. Our offense versus the Lions defense, I would have more confidence in our offense versus the Lions defense than our defense versus the Lions offense, if that makes sense. Jose, all the wide receivers are being, everybody's under, when you're running, when you're the number 2 running football team, well, might be number 1 after this week, I'm not even sure. Of course you're going to have underutilized wide receivers. It's going to happen. Time me out if you want, but I think we are having an honest duel. We are. But you're making a joke that clearly brings in his brother and son, which is clearly what the problem is with Marcus Hayes' article. We can have an honest Joel conversation. You know that. But bringing in his brother and his son is just grounds for assholeness, basically. I think Joel Embiid is being underused. He's kind of tucked away up there, I know. It's unfortunate, too, they don't want to see Philly succeed. They just hated the process, plain and simple. Smitty has got high hopes. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Do you think the Phillies should push for Juan Soto? It's crazy. Like, free agency and baseball offseason started, and it's kind of quiet. I don't know if they should push for Juan Soto or not. I think they will push for him. How many $500 million players can you have on a team? $300 million players on a team. I think the Phillies are going to look drastically different out of the 8 regular position players last year, 9 counting the DH. I bet you at least 2 or 3 of them are different next year. I think Bone is almost out. Reports of his laziness and immaturity. I think he's going to be out. Castellanos or Marsh or Schwarber, one of them is going to be out. You might not have Rojas starting in center field anymore. I think there's going to be some major changes on the offense, and rightfully so. I think they should. Phil, I'm not saying aliens are responsible for the injury, but it's aliens. Is it? Was he abducted by aliens in the Olympics? Was the Olympics just like a covert action, and he had to go off on some alien adventure to save the planet, and that's where he got hurt? Maybe that's what it was. The Lions defense has to see our offense too. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I'm more confident in our offense against them. I know we're ranked. Is it weird, Marshawn? I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things differently. I know we're ranked coming into this week. I think we were ranked 2nd or 3rd. I have to go several days in notes back here. Eagles defense was ranked 5th coming into this week. They were the 5th ranked rush defense, the Eagles. But in my mind, it didn't feel like it. It just didn't. I was shocked that we were even in the top 10 in run defense just because of the eye test. I don't know. Joel said it, though. He wants his son to see his dad as a champion. He wants to honor his brother. Yeah, that's fine. You just stop making that part of the conversation. We need pitchers, too. We need relief pitchers. Our starting pitching is perfectly fine, in my opinion, for the Phillies. I think Marsh is all but gone at this point. Marsh, Bohm, both out, in my opinion. And then somebody else. Who? I'm not sure. I think there'll be 3 starters that are out. Did you watch the Olympics opening ceremony? It's aliens. Yeah, maybe. Damn contracts in the MLB are ridiculous, dude. Yeah. I don't get upset about them because it's what it is. It's how the sport has become. So I don't fret when a player signs those big contracts because it's their right to get it. But yeah, they're out of control. Absolutely. Is Juan Soto worth $500 million? I don't know. But he's going to get $500 million from somebody. We need a real set of closers. The Phillies bullpen needs some work. Absolutely. There's a poll going on. Should Jeff Hoffman be brought back? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the bullpen for the Phillies. Eagles need to use the middle of the field more. That will at some point. They will at some point. They've dabbled in the middle of the field more this year than they have in years past. I will say that. Am I a Union fan? Let me phrase it this way. I was a casual soccer fan, casual Union fan, becoming a bigger Union fan. And then like 2 years ago, they put all the Union games on Apple TV. So I stopped watching because I'm not paying for Apple TV just for the Union. So I know that they fired Jim Curtin. I know that seems like to have annoyed a lot of people. I know the Union have a problem with their sons of Ben, and there's a big vote going on and stuff like that. I know a little bit of this and that with the Union. We don't talk too much Union on this show, though, because I can't watch it. And I hate talking about things, Rick, by just like read the box score and the recap article and then pretend to know what I'm talking about. So we don't cover the Union very often on the show, but yeah. Unless you get one of those contracts, I would love them. Yeah, absolutely. Phillies will get why go after the pitcher? Why go after Garrett, Rick? I'm curious. You're going to trade prospects for him. You've got, and right now in your rotation, you got Wheeler, Nola. You got Sanchez, who signed a 4-year extension. All right. You got those 3 guys. Okay. You've got Andrew Painter, who will start the season or very soon in the season. That's 4. You still got Ranger Suarez, who I know some people are talking about trading Ranger Suarez, whatever. Unfortunately, technically, you still got Taijuan Walker. So that's 6 starting pitchers right there. And you throw Garrett in there. That means, obviously, Taijuan Walker's gone. But it also means maybe you use Taijuan Walker as part of the trade to get Garrett there. But I just don't know if investing assets in a top flight pitcher is necessary. Stud bullpen arm, sure. A better hitter that's going to hit for average, sure. A top flight starting pitcher, I don't know if that should be on the top priority list. I guess Phil isn't lying about not going to games. The only people who know the high hopes lyrics. I mean, I go to games. I haven't been to a Phillies game in a while. I'm going to a Sixers game next week. I go to games occasionally, but very rarely. Very, very rarely. With Smitty and AJ on the outside more, use of the slant and middle crossing would give Hurts a lot more confidence. It's just the quick passes, whether there's slants in the middle, out patterns, whatever. Quick, easy passes is what you got to do. That's how you get the confidence of Jalen Hurts moving forward. You can't get rid of Bohm, Stott, and Marsh. Make the team even older while getting equally young players. I'm not saying 3. I'm not getting rid of Stott. I know some people are on Stott. Bohm, it seems like, is moving on. Marsh, and by the way, Bohm's 28, 29 years old. It's not like Alec Bohm's 23. Brandon Marsh is like 26, 27. So it's not like they're old, but they're not youth yet. They're not the daycare anymore, okay? Those kids got to learn to grow up. Painter, Crawford, I'm super excited. Out of all the young position players in the minor league system noon for the Phillies, I'm most excited about Justin Crawford. Very excited about him. Aiden Miller too, but he's kind of blocked or he's got to learn a new position. But Bohm and Marsh are out, in my opinion, most likely. You're just like me. Apple Plus ruined the excitement for the Union. Rojas has to go, maybe. I'm neutral on Rojas. He could be a bench guy, defensive replacement guy, I guess. I just don't have much thought, pro or con, on him. Andrew Painter needs to be called up and trade Taiwan Walker. It's hard to trade Taiwan Walker because of his contract. And Painter will be on this team next year. They're just going to be very cautious with his innings because of the Tommy John surgery. He did win. They announced on Friday, I believe it was. He won Arizona Fall League pitcher of the league of the season, or whatever it's called. So he looks like he's trending to be ready. They're just going to have him on a pitch count, and rightfully so. So I don't know how they'll manage his innings this upcoming season, but he will be on this team, and he should be the real deal. If they trade Crawford and Painter, I am so out of my on any part of the season. This team does not need to get older. Look, prospects are just that, prospects. We can get into the trade or don't trade prospects thing. They're just prospects, okay? We've traded a lot of prospects, and almost none of them became anything. But I get the younger aspect of it. You want to get younger. You need cheaper players to match with the expensive players. Baseball is a different sport, though. You can go older or younger in baseball. Either way, it's different than other sports because there is no salary cap. There's just the luxury tax. So, I'm all for trading any prospect in the Phillies organization if it's for the right player. Last year, I said I would have traded Painter for Ohtani before the surgery. Sure, why wouldn't I? I have no problem trading players in baseball. Ranger gone after this year. Painter's a huge question mark and coming off major injury. He's a prospect proven he handles major league hitters. Yeah, I get that. But is it putting too many eggs just into the starting pitcher? And Ranger might be gone, sure. I think Painter, there's question marks there. The only question mark with Andrew Painter is, will his arm hold up or not? And plenty of pitchers have Tommy John surgery, and even better afterwards if they're managed initially correctly. So I'm not saying I don't like the idea of bringing Garrett in here. I'm just not sure if I'm putting more eggs in that basket when there are other baskets that need eggs put into. That's it. But the Phillies need a youth movement. But Zudnut has high hopes. Yeah. Phillies need to win now. The Phillies do need to win now. They absolutely do. They have been getting dumped from the playoffs sooner and sooner. They can't win with what they are doing. Prep for the future. Look, I didn't know we were going to talk Phillies today. I mean, we're talking bright futures. I guess we're talking Phillies bright future or not bright future today. It's great. I love how this show just takes curveball turns that I don't expect. Look, the Phillies have a pretty wide open window, but also it can close really fast. I don't think that they have to prep for the future, so to say. They got the Phillies are in a position where they can prep for the now and the future at the exact same time. And I'm not afraid to get rid of one or two prospects to do that, but I'm also understanding some of those prospects might be making an impact this year or next year. He pitched 16 innings. Yeah, absolutely. It was just 16 innings, but he pitched pretty damn lights out. He was hitting 98, 100 in his fastball, threw some changeups. Look, he's going to be watched so closely in spring training. I'd be shocked if he even starts the year with the team. They might push him off when they do the extended spring training for him. Maybe he comes up in May. Maybe he pitches 5 innings only. Maybe he's on a 5 innings, 80 pitch limit through the first half of the season. You got to think that Andrew Painter, and I did this a while ago and I forget what it was. I think 140 or 150 innings will be the max. If everything goes perfect that you get out of him this year, you might have him in more of a 125 to 140 innings limit, which that means comes playoff time, if they make the playoffs, you might be out of innings for him. Or maybe he pulls the David Price thing with his rookie year from the Rays, where he pitched in the bullpen for them against the Phillies in the World Series. Yeah, baseball's the one sport. Baseball's the only sport that's not disappointing us right now, right? Is that it? At Duck, if they try to get younger now, and you're looking at another minimum 3-year wait for a possible title win now. Look, this team tweaked just right, can win a title this year. It could. Just imagine if Ed Wade got rid of Ryan Howard to keep the proven commodity Jim Thome. That's fine. But look at all the guys that Ruben Amaro and Pat Gillick, et cetera, gave away. the Kyle Drabecks of the world, the Jesse Biddles of the world, Sixto Sanchez recently. He's not even on a 40-man roster right now. Lou Marson, Luke Donald, Michael Taylor. There's an untouchable outfielder back in the day. The only one that ever did anything even remotely good was Carlos Carrasco. So, and he wasn't anything special. He had more of a special story than anything else. So, look, I'm not saying I want to trade these prospects. I'm saying if the right deal's there, I won't bat an eye if they do. The Phillies will just become the Sixers if you take the rethink of that situation. Maybe you are happy with playoff appearances. They keep down this path, you'll get us in the World Series pennant. Kyle Drabek was an even better prospect than Painter he was. And what did Drabek turn into? Not much. Yeah, Drabek, I don't even know. I think he ended up with a lot of arm issues. What is up, Mitchie Pooh? Hardcore Sports Network in the house. They don't need to be the centerpiece of the offense, but you can't depend on all 30 and up players. How do we get on a straight Phillies conversation here? I love it. If you look to get younger now, you won't even see the playoffs for at least 5 years. Look, it's not that the Phillies are trying to get younger. Those are saying they don't want to trade the youth of the minor league system for more aging players because eventually they'll be good. And I get that. Not trading those youthful players and rolling we got with some tweaks in free agency will still get us in the playoffs. Now, it won't push us over the top for a World Series. I think the Phillies offseason is going to be interesting and very unique. So, a very interesting place for them right now. Yeah, that's right. Mitchie Pooh's here. He's only 25. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Insanity is repeated doing the same thing, expecting. Yeah, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. Kind of what the Sixers are doing with Joel Embiid, right? And their fans. So I'm using this comment about the Phillies, kind of tweak it, bring it back to the Sixers or the Eagles or whatever, because that's what really we should be talking about. We shouldn't be talking about the Phillies offseason when the Sixers are in the slums that they are and the Eagles are one of the 5 best teams in the NFL right now. It's almost like we weren't getting great football games. There's some great football games. There were some great football games yesterday. Some interesting football games, I should say. Drabek wasn't even the biggest prospect Darno was. Drabek was a name because of his father. He never dominated. When we drafted him, we were told he was going to dominate. He never did. Yeah, see, like I tried to segue that, right? I tried, K1. Definition of insanity is doing Joel Embiid over and over again. The story, the conversation. That is the definition of insanity. Telling ourselves that Joel Embiid's going to be good this time. I'm saying we sell off our young player doesn't work because we did that in 2000 a lot and we were crap for almost a decade before look. But none of those players we sold off turned into anything. That's all I'm saying, Duck. There's not one player we sold off or traded away that we regret trading away at this point. There's not one player that we traded away that was a regret. But still, trading those players did not cause the drought because those players didn't amount to anything anywhere. It'd be one thing if we traded all these players away, didn't win a World Series, and then all those players became all-stars. None of them amounted to anything. So prospects in baseball are so much different than any other sport. Insanity is talking about baseball during football season. We'll put a football question or comment up there that'll change the conversation in the chat. So I'm trying, K1. I need your help. I do. What is going on? Am I on still? I'm watching this over here. There we go. Sorry, my I was clicking on comments and nothing was coming up. Has such charismatic arguments that I just had to respond. I love Rick. Rick's fantastic. He is. I just disagree that we need to be talking baseball right now. Only prospects. They've done nothing in the big leagues. Proven players are just that, proven. Exactly. I think we're all on the same page, just in different ways with it. You think Joel Embiid will not retire as a Sixer because he'll be moved before that? I think it's a fair question, Jose. I don't know. I said before the season started, I was going down with the Joel Embiid ship. I wasn't going to trade him. I wasn't going to do a damn thing. But now I'm kind of in the boat where maybe we need to. The thing is, Joel Embiid has a no-trade clause. Now, I think, and this is kind of out there, but if Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's already started to lay the groundwork for him wanting to be out of Milwaukee, gets traded somewhere, that then after Giannis gets traded out of Milwaukee, Joel Embiid will be the next shoe to drop. I think this loyalty thing to a city for your entire career is coming to an end with some of these big stars. And look, I don't think the Sixers would ever. Josh Harris only cares about one thing. He cares about money. Joel Embiid makes him money. I don't think Josh Harris will ever openly campaign to trade Joel Embiid. But if Joel Embiid asks out, it's going to become Joel Embiid asking out. Not the Sixers saying we're moving on from him. But what's that icing on the cake? I thought the Marcus Hayes situation would be the icing on the cake. For him, what now? Doesn't seem to be it. Got to take a step back before you can take a step forward. A lot of these prospects were marketing. Domingo Santana was actually the most talented of those players. And Clown lost him in the administrative technicality. Embiid is gone within 2 seasons. That's 2 more seasons of losing then, Duck, in Philadelphia. Over and over again. Don't forget the decade-long run in no playoffs right before the prosperous 3 years. I'd rather talk about the obscene fraud on Netflix. The obscene fraud of showing his ass on live TV. Mike Tyson rocking the Rikishi look in the locker room before his fight. I'm telling you, Netflix hasn't even said a damn thing. Netflix should be embarrassed that they charge the fees they do and they couldn't put off a better product than they did. I've given you vaguely my power rankings. The week's not even over. How can I give power rankings before the week's over anyway? Mike Tyson knew exactly what. Yeah, absolutely. Look. It was clear. We all knew it was going to be a fraud of a fight. We knew it. And anybody that tells you that they thought it was going to be legit, we knew what it was going to be. An exhibition, a money grab, whatever. I still wanted my screen not to freeze. You know, I still enjoyed seeing Mike Tyson throw a punch here or there. But we knew what it was. It was entertainment. It was WWE-esque. That's all it is. So we shouldn't have been surprised at the fight results. I'm nervous for Monday Night Raw. I mean, before Monday Night Raw, the NFL has a game on Christmas Day on Netflix. I know you're going to say, well, you watch more basketball on Christmas. I get that. But football is football. It's 10 times the sport that basketball is. Netflix seems to have problems whenever they do live stuff on there. The Cowboys do stink. We know that. They knew that fight was going to be huge, and they didn't prepare the bandwidth, the browser, whatever technical term. Absolutely. Fake-ass fight. Jake Paul is the equivalent of the Hulk Hogan. He's making boxing fake. Look, I respect the Pauls. I hate the Pauls. They're scumbags. They're assholes. But I respect the fact that he puts the work in and he's trained to be he's not a great boxer or anything, but he was not a boxer to begin with. Just like Logan Paul wasn't a WWE wrestler, but he put the work in. So I respect the work that they put in to become somewhat decent at what they do. I think Phil got better boxing. No, I definitely don't. Why pro wrestling stink now? I don't know, because it does. I'll take NFL over NBA 10 times out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be watching the Sunday Christmas or the Christmas game over NBA too, unless it falls at the same time as the Sixers game. Netflix might pay Jake Paul $20 million to push George Foreman down a flight of stairs and land on his grill. Yeah. Paul has changed the nature of pro boxing. He's a promoter who fights and not a fighter who promotes. I think that's a great way to do it. He's a marketing guy. Jake Paul is a marketer. That's all it is. It's all about making money is what Jake Paul does. And you know what? He makes a lot of money. I can't hate him on that. And he kind of has an idea what he's doing. He would never beat a real professional heavyweight fighter. But he knows enough about the ring from the work he's put in. Hey, Rick, have a great day. I'm about to sign off as well here. We're at the 5-minute mark here. I might wrap it up in a minute or two. But have a great day. Bill might wind up a takeaway bag now. I live in Western New York, and just to piss people off, I wear my Jalen Hurts jersey. Granted, I live in Bills country. Yeah, good. Wear that with pride. With pride. Did I have VCP? I missed that. I missed my own VCP that time. Damn. Guys, one final time. New partner of the show, Lillian's Creation. Check them out, lillianscreation.com, and hit the contact if you want to buy a Trend in the AM t-shirt or hoodie. They also have my STT Sports Network. Check them out, lillianscreation.com. Click the contact tab, and you can send her an email. I've also put it down in the description of the show, guys. Make sure you check that out. America eats up marketing like fat. It's the truth. It's the truth. Don't rob us of content. What am I robbing you? I give you 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week, plus more. You're going to hate my schedule this week. I got lots of stuff going on this week. So there might be some shows that are a little light this week. Paul's also bringing younger viewers to boxing. Absolutely. That was one of the first nights I watched boxing in a while as well, for sure. Jake Paul stuck his tongue out when Tyson hit him. Paul is dirt on Tyson that he will expose if he doesn't let him win. There's something. I mean, you're not allowed to knock him out, Tyson was probably told, if you can't knock me out in the first round, then we just got to dance. And that's it. You got full value. Every minute of me is full value, TMZ. But with that being said, I got to start the wrap-up process here. That was an ad read. I don't care what to say about it yet. Whatever, guys. I got to wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow. More Eagles, more Sixers, more Phillies, maybe. Everybody have a great day. Go Birds, and bubbles up to y'all.
Puppy julep, puppy julep, puppy julep.